Well, hello, my friends. We meet again. It's been a while. Well, hello, my friends. We meet again. It's been a while. Where should we begin? We are going back, and we're doing Metallica Part 2. She liked a lot of the songs in the first half, and we did up to the Black Album. So now we're entering Metallica's weird phase, experimental. They went off the rails a little bit in the 90s and early 2000s.
You know what? The 90s and the 2000s were just a different time. It was a weird time for everyone, I would argue. Can we really blame them?
Yeah,
The fashion was weird. The people were being weird. One of the weirdest times to be alive, personally.
But also one of the most based. So,
oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
what can you say? But yeah, make sure you go check out that episode. That was a good one. Also, check out my video I made on Megadeth versus Metallica if you want to hear my thoughts on all these various albums here.
You should probably tell them where they can watch our uncut version.
Thank you to all our Patreon members here. You guys are the best. If you guys want, you can go watch the full unedited version over on Patreon. You don't need to pay anything to go watch something, but if you would like to contribute to the cause, we appreciate it a lot.
And then you can't complain in the comments that you don't like how the video is cut up, because it has to be, because copyright.
Really? Yes, yeah. So yeah, check it out there if you want. As well as we'll probably be doing something regarding Evelyn watching or reacting to your recommendations for some of the higher Patreon members, but we'll get to that later. Anyways, want to have a cheers, my love?
Yes. What we open first. Cheers. Should make some Diet Coke merch.
I think that's copyrighted.
Well, but like, no, well, like, it could be like a Diet Coke can, but with the Varvis logo.
I just won't mention that. In 1996, so it was quite a while.
The year your brother was born. Oh gosh, that yellow is so aggressive.
So yeah, it was quite a while between those two albums, because I think the Black Album they did previously came out in 91. This is 96. They took like 5 years. I think they went on one of the longest tours. I think they played like 200 shows in like 300 days.
That's a whole year, essentially.
And rightfully so. One of the biggest albums of all time, right?
What was the song off the Black Album that we listened to?
The Unforgiven.
Right.
And so we're going to be listening to The Unforgiven 2 and 3 today. So this is their comeback album after that, Load.
Kind of looks like a lava lamp.
Yeah, it does kind of look like a lava lamp. But apparently it's blood and semen.
Really?
Why are you looking at me like that? I'm not the artist.
Because you smiled too much when you said it.
So you can see they changed the logo.
Load. Are you serious? This is stupid.
They changed the logo, and they definitely did.
Oh yeah, they did change the logo. Hold on.
It's no longer the classic Metallica logo.
But then they went back to it, right?
Yes, yeah.
Because they realized this logo looks kind of stupid compared to our super cool other logo.
Yeah, and I mean, like, it sort of represented like
love.
this time. So yeah, they took a pretty hard turn with their music here.
I don't think I'm gonna like it.
So this song is called Hero of the Day.
Is he though? Are they trying to make metal sexy? Is that?
No. You'll probably like it, honestly, because they made it a lot less metal.
Yeah, this isn't metal at all. Why has Metallica gone country?
There's actually like a full-on country song on this album.
No, there isn't.
There is, yeah. It's called Mama Said. I think James Hetfield, like, he's always been a country fan.
Well, then start a country band.
That's what a lot of people said, and I think you're kind of getting
so
why people sort of reacted in a very negative fashion to these albums.
Because like, subtle changes is okay. Like, if they were gonna go from, because what category of metal are they?
Early years thrash metal. Black Album is sort of just like heavy metal, a little bit of groove metal. But like
going from thrash to heavy, like staying within the same genre. Like, it's kind of like, you're gonna be so mad, Beyonce went from pop to country, but like she rebranded for the country. They just changed their logo and were like,
well, how is that different?
Songs.
How is that different? That's like a total rebrand. They changed their image too and everything.
No, they didn't. I think for me it's because metal and country are too far apart. Like, Taylor Swift went from country to pop, Beyonce went from pop to country. It makes more sense. But to go from metal to country, especially because like metalheads are so particular.
Yeah.
This is just so bizarre.
Well, wait till you hear the rest of the song.
It's literally a Western like little video in the corner.
Yeah. I chose this song as it had kind of a lot of what represented this album. Like, there's some metal parts to it. There's some little bit of country, little, like, you know, alt rock, grungy kind of.
I bet the people are gonna hate your choices.
Well, they always hate my choices. You can't please everybody.
Except for in System of a Down, you got two friends who were like, not mad. doesn't even sound like Metallica, like at all.
Yeah, I know, right?
This sounds like some other group. Like, I'm enjoying it. I'm annoyed because it's not what I think it should be. I don't know how to feel. Okay, I'm trying to listen to the guitar and drums, but I can't. Okay, there's the metal coming back a little more.
Yeah, it's a little bit metal. That's why I chose the song. Kind of.
But it's like near the end of the song. They literally went from country to rock to metal within one song. Just make up your mind. That's honestly my issue.
Well, that was Hero of the Day. What'd you think?
I feel like I wasn't mentally prepared for how unmetal that was gonna be. I have to like mentally prepare for the amount of metal, especially if you're like, oh, they're gonna be super heavy, really hard.
No, I didn't.
No, but like I'm saying, like in the past, I've always had to mentally prepare for that, and that includes even with Metallica.
Well, you can imagine, right? You're a big Metallica fan. You wait 5 years for the next album, and you get
5 years.
Yeah, 91.
Oh,
to
I'd
96.
be furious. Unacceptable. You can't play with your fans' hearts like that. Especially not after 5 years.
There's like a couple more songs in this album that are a little bit more metal, and there's a couple songs that are like more, even more country, kind of more grungy.
I cannot even imagine it being more like country-esque
Well,
than this.
or I'll just play like a little bit of it.
Yeah, because I'm honestly curious now. Like, I enjoyed the song itself, but it's not the sound of Metallica. The house Jack built, that sounds like a country song.
King Nothing's probably one of the most metal ones.
They sound better like this, you know? Like, it sounded fine, but like, here, this is where Metallica has its sound.
Wasting My Hate's also a pretty good song, and then we got this one.
Mama Said. That's just full-blown country.
Yep.
5 minutes of country? Of bad country? That's bad country.
You're gonna win over a lot of people not liking it. Okay, well, what are you gonna rate Hero of the Day then?
It just wasn't a good song. Like, it definitely showcased, like, for time's sake, you know, it showcased how there was still a little bit of metal, or there was their new sounds that they're playing with, because they're clearly not taking it seriously. I don't even know. I'm so disappointed. And it wasn't a good song. There were no riffs. Where were the riffs? I'm trying to train my ear to listen to...
I'm so proud of her. I'm so proud of her, guys. She wants the riffs.
I just want some. Not a lot. But at least one. Like, am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
Okay, good.
And that's sort of like when I reviewed the album on that video. That was sort of my big problem. Like, a lot of these songs are just kind of boring. They're not really that interesting
Like, it took
enough.
you 5 years to make this?
Well, let's rate it and we'll move on.
Honestly, 0. Well, like, especially knowing that...
You're putting this on the same level as Cannibal Corpse?
No, because if I went back, I'd give Cannibal Corpse, like, a -10. Especially knowing that they took 5 years to make this song. Like, no, absolutely not. Okay, maybe, like, 2. 0 is a little harsh. It wasn't, like, a bad song, but it wasn't a good song either. It was the okayest song I've ever heard from Metallica. Moving on.
Okay, so
I'm ready to move on.
So
please tell me it gets better.
Yeah, well, it does. So moving on, this
Pinky
is
promise.
The Unforgiven 2 now.
You pinky promise it gets better?
I do promise. So this is The Unforgiven 2. I made a whole video about The Unforgiven trilogy, which you guys should go check out. But yeah, The Unforgiven 2 here, I think this is their best example of sort of combining their previous metal sound with a little bit more country and grunge influences as well.
I do enjoy
really
grunge.
like this song.
Oh, this is so much better already. I can relax now. Honestly, I was stressed.
See, it's like, that's kind of like a little bit country, but it's not too country, you know?
It's just enough country.
Tell me what they've done.
His voice also just sounds better here.
Yeah, he does.
He did not sound good in the next song.
If you can understand the me.
Lyrics are funny sometimes. If you can understand the me, then I can understand the you. Why not say we can understand each other?
Because you gotta rhyme.
Me and you don't rhyme.
Under wicked sky, through black of day, dark of night.
It's very very like twangy.
It is very twangy. He actually plays this with like a country guitar that you would use in country, which has like a specific mechanism to bend the strings in a certain way.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What I feel, what I've known. Turn the pages, turn the stone.
Nah, Unforgiven 2. That's so clever. But then they try to rhyme me and you, so.
They're also like, you know, sold millions and millions of albums, so who are we?
What?
That don't mean nothing.
She loves me not, she loves me still. But she never.
Do you remember from the first Unforgiven how the chorus goes?
No.
What I felt, what I've known, never shy doing what I've shown, never free, never me, so I dubbed the Unforgiven. So I think this song's like a really cool way.
Because they're using the same tune for the chorus, essentially.
Yeah, a lot of similarities. In the
Oh yeah,
chorus.
like I'm
very,
definitely
very clever.
hearing some similarity between, from what I can remember at least, of the Unforgiven 1 in the Unforgiven 2, so it's some nice continuity. I mean, you have to if you're making it a sequel. Like,
Yeah,
come
true.
on.
True.
It's a trilogy.
Yeah, what I felt, what I've known.
Some actual guitar action, finally.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that other one.
I didn't
have a
realize
solo.
how much I missed it. I don't realize how much you miss something until it's gone. Well, I enjoyed that significantly more. I think the song really showed his like vocal control, which was really cool. That first song you showed me, Heroes, what I don't even remember the name of it because there was no hero. That song was not the hero. It did nothing to showcase his vocal abilities. This song showcased his vocal abilities, and I enjoyed I almost want to call them twangy riffs, but there were riffs.
Yes, there were
So,
riffs. You are correct.
That made it more metal, even with the country twang. I appreciated the country elements in it, as opposed to like them just pretending they're country artists. Like, stay in your lane.
Yeah, true. Well, like you're just saying, like all the criticisms are like everybody had, right? So you're picking up.
Who
exactly
actually
right
liked
on
it though? Is there anybody who actually was like, I actually like this more than OG Metallica sound?
I don't know. I'm sure there's some weirdos out there.
Did you think I was gonna like this more than their original stuff?
No.
Even my normie self?
No, there's like a reason why old Metallica, like 80s and Black Album Metallica is held on such a high pedestal, right? Because it's just extremely good music, kind of regardless of if it's metal, right? It sort of like transcends.
This is true. Like
barrier.
once again, back to when Metallica came to Edmonton, so many people I knew went, and I was like, really? You listen to Metallica? Like, okay. Metallica's for everyone.
Like, despite the change in genre and sound and influence, everything like that, I just don't think it's as good of like written music, right? It's just sort of.
Oh no,
It's not very exciting, I guess.
was
Old
so
Metallica is
boring.
very, very exciting.
That
This
was
is
so
sort of
boring. That first song
boring.
was so boring.
Yeah.
I don't
All right.
know.
Well, what are you gonna give Unforgiven 2 out of 10?
Unforgiven 2 out of 10. My gut is telling me to give it an 8 out of 10.
Nice. All right. Okay, we're moving on here. I forgot to show you the album cover of this too, because this one was off of Reload, so it was sort of like almost like a double album.
That yellow, it shocks me every time.
It's such a bad yellow.
You saying it's
album.
Reload?
So it's sort of like a double album that they released like a year later.
And what's it supposed to be in Reload?
I don't know. I think this is also like some gross combination of liquids.
They could just do oil and water.
Okay, so the next one here
Excuse me.
is actually a cover of a cover. So this song, Whiskey in the Jar, was originally an Irish folk song
Ooh!
that was then covered by a band called Thin Lizzy, which was then covered by Metallica.
What was the band in the middle called?
Thin Lizzy.
Thin Lizzy.
They're an Irish band. They're kind of like a
Thin
hard
Lizzy,
rock.
Like Elizabeth?
Yeah, I think like Queen Lizzy, I think probably that's what they meant.
Why are they body shaming Lizzie?
I don't know, go ask them.
You're supposed to have the answers to things.
Oh,
That's the whole premise
Thin
here.
Lizzy's not metal. So
I
don't
have
know.
the questions, you have the answers.
You probably have heard the song quite a few times.
What if I haven't?
Well, then you haven't, but I think you probably heard the song at like sporting events and even at bars. It's a pretty rockin' song. It's a good song. Yeah, Whiskey in the Jar.
Okay, bet. So far, it does not sound familiar. I've never heard this song before. It does not sound familiar.
Okay,
whatsoever.
we've definitely heard the song at Blowers and Grafton together. They had definitely played it while we were there.
Yeah, I wasn't listening to it.
That's okay.
I was listening to you,
Yeah.
like a good wife. Shows how much attention you pay to me.
That you love me. Never would she leave me.
It doesn't sound like Metallica, but I like it more.
Well, it's a cover, right? So yeah.
I guess, yeah, you're right, you're right. I'm not sure how to feel about this one.
Yeah.
I'm afraid we're having another hair metal episode.
I'm honestly a little bit surprised. I thought you would have enjoyed this one for sure.
It's just too much one note.
It is very, yeah. You definitely seem to like songs with a lot more dynamics.
Yeah.
You like when a song is like highs and lows. And
Yeah.
The cannonball are roaring. I like sleeping.
I do like sleeping.
But here I am in prison.
Oh no, not prison.
Ball and chain, yeah.
That's not a metaphor for marriage, is it?
Because he shot Captain Farrell.
Alright. So he didn't get to become the ball and chain for Molly.
No, he has a ball and chain because he's in prison.
Exactly, so it's literal, not a metaphor.
Yes.
I'm just reiterating that.
You're not a ball and chain, don't worry.
Oh, I wasn't asking you to say that, but thank you. I like this. This bit at the end's good. It's also good because it's close to the end,
Yeah, sure.
which means the song's almost over. It's 5 minutes.
All right. Well, that was Whiskey in the Jar. What'd you think?
Disappointed. I think it needed to be a faster tempo. Like, it was just too slow. Like, speed it up, make it a 4-minute-er, get her done.
I think I've ruined you.
I think you
Because
have.
the last episode we did before this was melodic death metal, which will be out soon if it's not out by now. I don't know how the editor is going to be doing this, but
Oh, you sent that one to an editor?
yeah, I'll be sending both of these to an editor.
Oh, we're in the big leagues now.
Yeah. Well, he edits these, and then I can edit the other videos, and then I can get even more content out for you guys there. If you want to help, leave a like and subscribe the video.
So we can pay for the editor.
Thanks. Cheers.
What did I say for melodic death metal?
Well, you liked a lot of them, and
Did
you
I?
liked how there was often a lot of dynamics.
Yeah.
I think we're discovering here that if you want you to like a song, we want big dynamics, which actually bodes well for like metalcore and like deathcore and that sort of genres. As those are, and prog metal too. We still have to do that though, because those are really
There's so many to do.
dynamic genres. I thought because this was like an Irish folk song, and you're
I
part
know,
Irish, I
and
thought you
I
would liked it a
lo-
lot bit more.
I loved that it was an Irish folk song. I enjoyed it, but I think they did it too slow because an Irish folk song would be done really fast. No?
I'll show you the Thin Lizzy one.
How's this longer?
Because they put on an intro like this. We won't listen to the whole thing.
Okay. I'm nervous. What if I hate this too? This is already better. If you're gonna do a cover of a cover, essentially, or whatever, Metallica needed to do better than this.
Yeah.
Especially since they are the bigger name.
The car can carry mountain.
There's more layers to this too, like in the sound. Like
Yeah.
there's really only 3 layers that I'm hearing with Metallica.
That's true. It's just like bass, drums, guitars.
That's it. No, I'm not even hearing bass. I'm just hearing guitar, drum, sing.
Well, the bass in that song was literally just like playing one note the whole time. But yeah, okay. What are you gonna give Whiskey in the Jar out of 10? Then?
This is really hard. It's not a 0. Like, I still enjoyed it. Like, the Irish in me did enjoy it. Like, the story and the song, like, the
Yeah, and a
lyrics
nice
of
story.
it.
It's a good
Yeah,
story.
it's a good story. And I love a folk song. This could have been folk metal and it wasn't.
That's very true.
It could have been folk
They
metal.
kind of stripped like all the folk out of the
Yeah,
song.
and then it just was... It's not a 0. Because, like, the song
I
itself...
love how serious
no,
you're taking.
I always do. I do everything 100%.
That's true.
You married this. They should have been able to do better because they didn't even have to sit down and write lyrics. They picked up a song.
Yeah, true.
Like, come on.
You're so disappointed in
I am. This is horrible.
I think you might like the next song. Though.
You said that about this song.
No.
What do you know anymore?
Okay,
what do we know?
give it a 2 and let's move on.
1.
1.
2. No, I changed it 2. What does
2?
2 mean? It's the Irish in me says 2. Oh, this is live.
Yes. So the next song here,
Is there a music video we can watch?
I guess we could watch the live video of it. This is off their album called S&M, which was essentially Metallica and the San Francisco Orchestra. They all got together.
Ooh! Oh, S being San Francisco Orchestra.
Symphony
M being
Symphony and Metallica.
Symphony and Metallica. Okay. Well,
And so they did a whole bunch of like their old songs. They did symphonic versions.
why are we listening to Master of Puppets?
Well, because we got to listen to the original song off that album. The song is called No Leaf Clover.
Have I listened to that?
Nope.
This is stupid. I still don't understand why I can't listen to Master of Puppets.
Well, I can listen to it after.
This is reminding me of the Huns arriving in Mulan.
Mulan again.
Yep. It's an oboe.
Was that an oboe? I was going to
It's
say, is that an oboe?
I played
She
the
played the
oboe.
This might be the only metal song that I can think of that has an oboe in it.
Are there others? Tell us in the
I don't think
comments.
so. That's
There
what I'm
has to
saying.
be more. It's so good. More people should do it.
And it feels right this time.
Oh, yeah.
On this crash course, we're the big time. Ain't no mind
This is better. This is redeeming Metallica for me.
answer. Good day to be alive, he said.
I wonder how they do this vocal effect on it.
Was just a freight train coming away.
What if I learned Metallica riffs from this album on my oboe?
That'd be sick.
That would be so cool.
Honestly, I bet if you made Metallica riffs played on oboe for a whole video, I bet that would kind of maybe blow up.
Okay, if you can figure it out, I'd dust off my oboe and I would practice.
What do you mean
seriously.
figure it out? That's on you. You have
No!
to just sit there and figure
No,
out
you're
the
the
riffs.
music man.
Oh, how to record you? Oh, yeah, easy.
No, how to pick it, the riffs out.
Well, okay, we'll talk about
That's
this
a you
after.
thing.
Okay,
That's a
okay.
you job.
If you guys want to see that, leave a
Honestly, I would
comment
so do it. I've been wanting to play my oboe again, and I have like no reason to, but this would give me a reason. That'd be so fun.
It's coming your way.
there.
That's better. I love a good strong brass section.
Yeah, especially because they played this in the beginning of the song too.
Those are some French horns, I think. Or maybe trombones.
Mm-hmm.
They're picking on a cello, I think. Maybe? No.
Well, it's a full orchestra.
I know, I'm trying to pick out the instruments. The band kid in me is trying to do my band kid thing.
Yeah, so many yeahs. It's funny when they're like literally written out.
Yeah. Because
You
at
don't
first
really
you just
notice
kinda like,
them.
it's just cool. Like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
just part of the lyric.
Yeah, you don't really notice him when he's just singing, but when you're looking at the lyrics with it.
It's honestly like, come up with something else.
What'd you think?
I loved it. That was awesome. I think more metal bands should team up with orchestras.
Well, you haven't
just
heard of
bands in
symphonic
general.
metal.
I've heard of symphonic metal from the comments, but I haven't heard symphonic metal.
We got so many to do. It's crazy.
Oh, gosh.
Infinite content, essentially.
Are they still going to want to watch us when we're like 40?
I don't know. Will you?
This had some good peaks and valleys. This had some good dynamics. I was trying to like listen to where the orchestral and symphonic instruments were playing like underneath the metal sounds. I thought they complemented each other really well. There were a lot of things I really liked about it. I'd have to listen to it again to be able to speak more to like anything with the instruments. Love when you can hear an oboe. I
Really
honestly,
prominent oboe too. Like it was like had its own like little like solo.
yeah, oboes always do because they have such a distinct sound. And it just carries over top. It can blend really well, but also it can stand out really beautifully. That's why it's the best instrument. I just want to listen to this album now. I think this would be good to listen to at the gym. For me. Maybe not for everybody. The song itself, it was a good song. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10.
Nice.
But I think there has to be some 10 out of 10s on this album. Probably Master of Puppets, but you didn't want to let me listen to Master of Puppets.
Well, we had already listened to the old Metallica before.
We didn't listen to Master of Puppets on the old Metallica.
You'd heard Master of Puppets.
I haven't heard this version of it. It's at the top. It's number 3. Thank you. Was that so hard? Ah! I wasn't ready. If you had to do concert band in, like, high school, what instrument would you pick?
Euphonium.
Do you even know which one that is?
It's like the smaller French horn.
Not French horn. Smaller tuba.
Well, what's the smaller French horn then?
There isn't one. It's just a French horn.
Oh, okay, give me the French horn then.
French horn's so hard.
Well, I would learn it. Listen, my brother's able to play trombone, so I'm sure I can learn how
Did
to
he play trombone?
Right.
Oh my gosh, I always wanted to play trombone.
Okay.
You did concert band, but you didn't?
Yeah, surprisingly.
Okay, your brother and I never talked about this.
I don't know. Why didn't I do it? Because I like metal. They weren't playing metal.
What is this then? What is this?
A one-off. That's not the norm.
It should be.
French horn or maybe the timpanis. And then I just sit there. And
You know what? You would be a percussionist. That does check out. You would be a percussionist, so you just play all the things in the back row. I could also see French horn. I'm just glad you didn't say saxophone or trumpet.
No.
No, those don't vibe with you. And you wouldn't do a woodwind. You wouldn't be like one
Or
of
maybe
the...
like the double bass.
That's not in a concert band.
They don't have a double bass.
No, usually they just have the guitar bass do it. The double bass is so expensive. Like in
Oh,
my school, it was always really poor.
whatever the bass stringed instrument would be, maybe I would also.
Usually it
choose.
was just a bass guitar, so you
Oh,
probably
really?
would have just picked it. You know, there's always like a guy that like picks flute because he wants to just sit with all the girls. A guy that picks.
I don't want to be a
clarinet.
flutist.
Flautist.
That sounds even worse.
And you don't give clarinet. You're definitely not cool enough to be an oboe player. That's too loud. My ears.
The symphony really adds a lot, and they don't really
Oh,
follow
so
the instruments a lot.
They do their own thing, but it's subtle, but also right there. It doesn't make any sense. Oh, yeah. I do like the Master of Puppets riff.
It's one of the best riffs of all time for sure. It's very, very chromatic. It's pretty fast, and even then, like Normie's like it just shows you the power of a good riff, honestly.
I like it. 9 minutes?
The original Master of Puppets is like 8 minutes long.
Is it? I like that there's people singing.
Well, because it's live, yeah. Next time Metallica comes, we'll go, and you'll see the whole crowd just sings along, especially in Edmonton.
This is the right kind of tempo. There have been too many slow Metallica songs. Like,
Yeah.
I'm confused.
Speaking of fast, we're now moving on to their album Saint Anger.
Saint Anger? That's funny. Ooh, what's their album art for that?
Pretty cool album art.
Pretty sick. There's no name on it.
Yeah, no name, no logo. And so this is an interesting one. You know, remember how when we were driving home earlier, I was telling you about that documentary?
Yes.
This is the album that like came around that same time.
So this
And
is
so it
their
definitely-
therapy album.
I guess you could say, yeah, it is their therapy album. And it's very,
It looks very
very
therapeutic.
infamous for one thing about it. And I'll see if you can hear it on its own here. But yeah, it's sort of a return
Wait, am
back
I
to, like-
listening to the singing for the thing, the guitar for the thing, or the drums for the thing?
I'm
or
not going to
something
tell
else?
you. You gotta
Are you
pick it up,
serious?
because you'll hear it right away.
You promise?
Yes. Oh,
Because
yeah.
the last time you're like, there's a Spanish something to it. And
Well,
I
that was a little bit different.
Okay, I'm
it's
just making
way,
sure you're
way,
not setting
way
me up for failure again.
less subtle than the Knocked Loose Latin breakdown. So,
Promise.
but yeah, so this one definitely a return back to metal. This is sort of like all the backlash, I guess, after Loaded, Reload.
So
People
that's
like
why
Metallica come back.
they needed to go to therapy, because their fans were hating on them that hard.
Well, there's a lot. Well, we'll watch a documentary. It's
Now
an
I'm
absolute
curious.
cringe kino of the highest order. It's so good. I haven't watched it in probably like 20 years. No,
I was gonna
Like
say, what,
15
you
years
were
probably.
10 when you watched it?
but yeah,
Sir.
it's excellent. A lot of memes come out of that. But yeah, definitely a big return back to metal, and they're taking in a lot of influence from the sort of metal that was going around at the time. So this came out in 2003. So that's a lot of like the new metal sound, which is like a lot of down-tuned guitars,
System of a
more
Down.
aggressive.
or-
Yeah, System of a
So
Down.
System
They're
of a
like
Down
kind of like
is-
new metal. Very
That's a
curious.
similar era. Is this album and System of a Down?
Yes, this album came out like right around the same time as Steal This Album. I'm very curious here to think. Yeah, this is Frantic.
What, are you doing this on garbage cans?
Yeah, that's it. The snare drum in this album.
It's a garbage can? Is it the guy that's always outside the Oilers games?
Yeah, basically.
So the whole album they do this?
Yep.
That's such a weird choice. Like, whose idea was that? Like, were the album sales that bad? They couldn't afford a new snare?
They wanted to be different, and there was a lot of like ringing snares coming around at this time, so they're like, why don't we just do the ringiest snare? Honestly, I kind of like this album though.
Ah! Too loud. Why?
Wasted days back, but I use them to get back on track. Stop running inside. Could I have my wasted days back, but I use them to get back on track.
Oscar the Grouch must be furious.
They're just beating on Oscar his fucking house.
That's why he's so angry all the time.
Determines my death style. Keep searching.
Granted, tick, 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 tock, tick, tock.
That's dumb.
I'm worn out always being afraid. An endless stream of fear that I've made.
I swear to God, one of their guitars is like slightly out of tune. Too,
Something
on this album.
sounds off. That's what I was gonna say. And I was also gonna say, I know that the snare drum is important. You don't realize how important it is until it's literally a garbage can. And it
Yes.
sounds like garbage.
Yes. Just imagine the Metallica fan. You had 2 albums, you know,
That were
kind of
garbage.
like hard rock, basically. Then they came
Barely.
out with a symphonic album,
Which would have been like, oh yeah, we're back to
but
like
it's
the
not
good
like
old
new
days.
music. You know
But
what
it's
I mean?
not, but it's their good old stuff.
And then they come out with this,
That is
and they're like, "Yeah,
literal
Metallica's coming
garbage.
back to metal."
It's literal garbage.
This is like one of the most infamous albums of all time. Honestly, I kind of like it.
It's a choice. It's giving Stomp the musical, you know?
Never heard of it.
Oh, we had to watch that in band class once. I think it's because we didn't have any reason to practice our instruments anymore. Essentially like body percussion and using like everything around you and making music and dance with like body percussion, if I remember correctly. It was really cool. Don't love it for Metallica though.
This album is sort of like a reaction against people saying like they sold out, they became like way too overproduced, I guess you could say, right? So they're like,
I'd
okay,
argue
well,
they're
why don't we just...
underproducing right now?
Oh,
that's
exactly. So they're like,
what-
why don't we just do the exact opposite? Like,
No,
I
but
think
this
they
is
barely like
too
edited this.
far.
Like, the vocals are pretty rough too. They obviously didn't spend time getting the absolute perfect takes. You can hear James' voice like cracking
I don't
sometimes.
mind that, but
Yeah,
like,
honestly, I like his voice, and like the guitars are like super muddy, and like obviously the drumming.
it's too muddy and the drumming is too bad.
Anyway, let's
Honestly,
continue.
do we have to? I don't like it. I like System of a Down better than Metallica officially. Like the timing sounds off too. I do like that little bit. Ugh. This is just such a weird song too.
The whole album is kind of like this.
That's not cute. In my humble normie opinion. I'm saying this, and I'm not trying to shade you in any way, shape, or form. The album that you produced for Soul Runner sounds way better than this.
I didn't produce that.
But you know what I mean? The albums or the music that you have made and you have produced sounds so much better than this.
Like legit, my demos sound better.
Yeah.
That's why this is such like an infamously like bad album.
Like it has potential.
It's so hated that I kind of like it for like an ironic reason. You know what I mean?
I can't even like it.
It's so funny.
ironically.
Like this album is like so badly produced that there have been like lots of like fan remakes and remixes of the album to like get rid of the snare drum and shit like that.
I mean, just like have a real snare drum. And they have the audacity to have a 30-second fade out. Well, not fade out, but like extro?
Outro?
Outro. I was like, extro's wrong.
And that's another thing too, like they kind of retain like the long song lengths as well.
The song's not good enough to deserve being this long. I don't like it at all. I'm glad you're having fun, because I'm not.
Yeah, give it a 0 and let's move on.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, this is 0. There was no redeeming quality. Like, cool, good for you for taking a risk, but I'd argue your last 3 albums were risks, and out of now, this is your 4th risk album.
What?
1 out of 4 paid off, and that was the one with the symphony. Add symphony to anything, and it'll be awesome. Just play me Unforgiven 3 so I don't hate myself.
All right, so now we're on
Play.
to Death Magnetic, which is sort of like their actual like return to form.
You promised this time!
Well, I said return to metal, not return to form. So this is the album that I remember coming out. That was like a cultural event. I think this came out in 2008, so I was 14 years old. So I remember this being like crazy. Anyways, yeah, this is the Unforgiven 3.
Oh, and they went back to their old logo, finally.
Yeah, they went back to their old logo too.
Do you think they are the Unforgiven 3 because they've done so many horrible albums? And they're saying, you haven't forgiven us for a while. Can you forgive us now?
Could be. You have to go watch my deep dive on the Unforgiven to find out what it means.
Can you tell me later if I'm right?
You're not right.
Oh.
I like the cover art. I like the magnetic coffin. I think it's pretty cool.
That was a very beautiful little, almost Spanish-y intro. That I enjoyed, because that's a touch of other genres, instead of reinventing yourself poorly. Maybe I am a metal elitist.
You have to change it to metal elitist.
No. I'm just an elitist in my
See,
opinion.
this is one of my favorite songs off this album. I just chose it to do the Unforgiven continuity.
Well,
But if you
yeah.
like it, we'll listen to another one briefly.
Can they start singing yet? There we go. He's even doing more like metal affectations in his voice, and I appreciate
Definitely.
that. Honestly, I missed it. I missed the real snare. I missed the real snare.
Yeah, so true.
Don't ever do that again. To all the bands, don't do it. See, he is the Unforgiven. I called it. Why are you saying I'm wrong?
You said the band.
You're gonna take me out of it.
Oh, okay. I was wondering.
Do it, just don't actually pick.
Yeah,
Well, do it quietly.
zipping my lip.
Ooh.
You singing along?
I hummed. I did not mean to. I really enjoy it. Only took them how many years to get back to something tolerable?
15 years.
Did that take 15 years?
From Black Album to Death Magnetic, that was like 17 years.
That's embarrassing. I hope they experienced poverty in that time and like had to suffer a bit.
Watch the Some Kind of Monster documentary and you'll see.
They better struggle a little. They should have learned their lesson. If we had to suffer, so do they. Does that mean a little bit?
My vindictive Valkyrie.
Is that me?
Yeah.
Okay, just It's making me think of like with the flowers. They love me not. They love me. they love
Yeah,
me
exactly.
not. I love that like crunchy electric sound. This is what metal guitar sounds like to me, and I like it.
Oh, absolutely. And I like how they have like little touches of stringed instruments in this too to like go with the intro. I think it's cool.
Yeah, I guess. There's just more layers to it. I'm just really enjoying that.
How come it's got so cold?
Probably ended up in Edmonton.
Your little comments and quips, I swear. I love them.
Good, I'm glad. He is the Unforgiven.
Yeah.
There are 15 seconds. Let it fade out.
Happy?
Yes, actually. I'm very satisfied. Ah, not yellow garbage.
What did you think of The Unforgiven 3?
I think the Unforgiven trilogy is an excellent trilogy. I see
is really
why.
good. It is
I
really
see
good.
why you made a video on it. Somewhat interested in actually watching it now.
Oh, nice. Yeah. It's a long watch. I think it's almost 2 hours.
Well, because you also broke it up.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, so you can watch like each individual one or the whole movie, I guess you could say.
The movie. Because how long is it?
It's like an hour and 45 minutes to do all 3 songs.
Maybe
I went really in depth in all those.
You
but-
did. Maybe I'll just ask you for the Cliff's Notes version.
But yeah, I like all those songs. I think they connect very well. I like how
Yeah.
the third is quite a bit different from the first two. But there's just enough that ties it back.
Yeah.
Especially I get more in depth into with like the chords and stuff in that video.
They're all very clearly connected, and for me, they're connected almost purely based on vibes.
Oh yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Well, yeah, and like soft chorus.
Yeah,
cool riff.
yeah. Like there's a lot of similarities in like the musical theory, but also like the vibes of the song. They all clearly belong together. I'm just glad The Unforgiven 2 wasn't hot garbage like everything else from that era. The only good thing that came out of that era.
There's a
Unforgiven
couple good
3, that's not enough though.
Okay, rate Unforgiven 3, and then I'll play you one more. Like, we'll listen to a little bit of another song from that album. But yeah, definitely a big return to form. It sounds like Metallica again.
Yeah, it sounds like Metallica grown up, if you will.
Yeah, because they were like 40-some years old then at that point.
8.5 out of 10.
Nice.
8.5. It just felt right.
Imagine this now. You've heard like 3 disappointing albums from Metallica in a row.
And this is the first song.
And this is the first song you hear. And you put your CD into your car.
Ooh, spooky ooky.
It is a little spooky ooky.
Yeah! Real drums! What's up with these like over a minute intros though?
If you listen to the old Metallica stuff too, lots of really long intros as well.
I know, but like why?
That's one of
This
the best
riff is
Metallica
good.
riffs for sure.
Honestly, because of the long instrumental intros, I get bored. Like, I don't have that kind of time. It's not very ADHD friendly. Yeah, there we go!
Yeah!
It's better.
They're kind of like back in form. Like I remember when that album came out, it was like almost like a cultural event in Edmonton, for at least on like the radio. I was only 14, so I was still like in my parents' car. I listened to the radio all the time and stuff, right? So moving on. Now I think we're in 2016. I think this album came out.
It's the year we met!
Hardwired to Self-Destruct, the worst of all time album covers.
That's
for sure.
disgusting. Why is his tongue out like that? And then the goatee.
Like, what is going on? When bands get old, they just like lose their aesthetic sense. Like, this is the same band who put out like such absolute classic album covers, such as like the Master of Puppets album cover. Now they're sort of like firmly kind of back in like the metal thing.
Yeah.
Hardwired off the album Hardwired to Self-Destruct.
He looked like he was gonna self-destruct in that picture.
It's worse than their like bright yellow one.
I think they're too different to even compare them. They're just both awful. Try and get that image out of my head. Yeah, there we go. All right. I know.
I love a good go.
I also love a good 3-minute song.
Yes, I know.
Don't think I didn't notice.
I'm always thinking of that. Like, what's the shortest song I could put that like represents the album the best?
Thanks, honey. I really like the drumming.
Yeah, bringing it back to like the sort of more like punk thrash metal sound.
I really like that style of drumming. That must be really hard to do the guitar that fast.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's all picking then, hey?
That's like a solo sound.
Yeah, but no, I'm saying, but like to do that, it's all picking.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's a lot of up, down, picking. His diction is excellent here.
I think he's like probably 50 years old here. James, at this point.
Once upon a planet.
I forget when he was born. Maybe 67.
This is like some environmental metal.
Yeah.
Is that what you call it? What do you call Gojira's genre?
They're like death metal, groove metal, progressive metal.
No, but you said there's the environmental.
Oh, environmental core.
Environmental core. Yeah. This is giving environmental core. That was a good solid, nice little metal song.
Make your song shorter, everybody.
This is the kind of metal that I'm into.
Oh,
Great
this is-
year,
it's like
horrible
all the other
album
songs
art.
are like-
I'm genuinely trying not to give long songs. I don't personally have the attention span for it. If I like sit here and listen to this for 7 to 10 minutes for just one song, like, there's so many other things I should be doing. It's a 45-minute TV show. I can watch 5 of those in one sitting and feel zero guilt. So I don't know what that says about me.
Well, at least you're self-aware. To be fair to a lot of these long songs, a lot of these songs, especially Metallica ones, they're just sort of like repeating parts.
I think it was the Gojira episode where I said, like, you know, it was a 10-minute song, but it didn't feel
The Art of
like
Dying,
a 10.
yeah.
I was like, it's a 10-minute song, but it doesn't feel like a 10-minute song. This was a 3-minute song that felt like a perfect 3-minute song, but like some of the 6 and 7-minute songs, they felt so long. What year is this t-shirt supposedly from?
1985.
Okay, good.
Red
So
Lightning
so the shirt I have is from the era that I enjoy. So that's important,
Yeah,
even though
Red
this is
Lightning.
like a remake. This is not vintage whatsoever.
What are you gonna give this song out of 10?
This song out of a 10 is a solid 9 out of 10 for me.
Oh, nice.
Like that
Oh,
was
nice.
good. Metallica doesn't have a reason to be doing such long songs.
That's kind of what I said in my review of all their albums. I'm like, these songs don't justify the length. They're just sort of like
Yeah.
repeating choruses again, or they're like another boring guitar solo. I called it Metalla bloat. Like, just cut the, like, somebody needs to just be in the booth just saying to the guys, like, you don't need to play this again, cut it.
Was there early stuff this long?
Well, Fade to Black was like 8 minutes.
Okay, but
One
like
was like 8 minutes, but not all their songs were long. But a lot
Exactly.
of those songs have like a lot of stuff going on too.
exactly.
It's
So
not just
then that's
repeating
fine. I
the
feel
stuff
like
over and over
they
again.
forgot how to do that because they tried to do country for whatever reason.
Well, let's move on to the last song here. So now,
Not the yellow.
so now we're on to their latest album, 72 Seasons, with the blinding yellow album
Yeah,
cover.
with the Kill Bill yellow.
The Kill
That
Bill
should
yellow.
only be used for Kill Bill and nothing else.
This is the shortest song in the album.
Thank you.
And I also think the best song, to be honest, is my favorite one. So yeah, this is Lux Eterna.
Such a high bar, considering it didn't win the Grammy. Spoiler. Why wasn't this one nominated for the Grammy?
Well, it was the year earlier.
Oh.
This one's like a throwback to like their first album, in my opinion.
Anticipation, indomination, a sea of hot
I like the way his voice is sounding right now.
magnification, all generations.
Yeah, all generations indeed. What is Lux Eterna?
Eternal Light.
Latin?
Lux is light in Latin.
I was gonna
Eterna
say,
is-
is it Latin?
Yeah.
Look at them trying to be all fancy. Educated.
Educating you guys, yeah.
It's like very techno-y with like the tone of the guitar.
Techno-y.
I don't know, to me. Maybe just like very electric. Less,
It is very electric.
Like very electric. Techno-y wasn't the right word. Ooh, I love a false ending. Nice. That followed the equation for a good metal song so well. Why they don't do that in their other albums, I will
I know,
never
it's so
know.
simple.
Like, it's not, like, metal's not that hard, guys. That's what I've learned.
Just don't make 7-minute songs.
Well, just don't make boring songs and then choose to make them 7 minutes for whatever. I don't mind a slow song, but don't make me suffer.
Yeah, true.
I suffered this episode.
Okay, well, rate it out of 10, and then I'll
This
show you my
song-
favorite Metallica song. How about that?
Like, out of all of the everything.
Yes.
I'm just curious how long some of these was. 11? Outrageous. Unacceptable. Honestly, 9 out of 10. That was
Nice.
pretty sick. I really enjoyed it. Hold on, you said this Lux Eterna was for the last 2024 Grammys?
Yeah, I don't understand how that happened. I think they released it as a single the year before, and then the album got released. I don't know. I don't know how the Grammys work. I don't know how they pick it.
Hot take, Metallica needs to not make new music anymore.
What?
Her words, not mine, folks.
What? Do you not agree?
They can make whatever music they want.
I think they should quit while they're ahead, because I'd argue they're not even ahead anymore.
Pick one.
What were my options?
For Whom the Bell Tolls or Trapped Under Ice.
I don't know how to pick.
We're just gonna go with For Whom the Bell Tolls then. See how this is off 1985. We're going way back here now.
Giving Hunchback of Notre Dame. Maybe he got inspired by Hunchback of Notre Dame.
And that's that thing going. That's actually the bass doing that.
Like the higher sounding thing?
Yeah, that's a bass.
Nice! I would not have realized that if you had not told me.
Chonky.
It's chuggy, not
It's a
chonky.
chunk riff.
It's not chunk, it's chug. This is not chonky. Not in my definition, at least. There's enough going on that I'm okay with having a long instrumental intro.
Yeah, absolutely.
It changes often enough that I'm not mad. Why did we move away from this? It wasn't broke. Why'd they try to fix it?
Beats me.
I like it. 2 minutes. And I'm not even as annoyed as
Yep.
I would be for normal other songs.
This song to me just sort of represents like unrivaled atmosphere,
Yeah.
heavy riffs, hooks, and sick riffs of like early Metallica to me. Sure, it's not the fastest song they ever did.
No, but it
But it's got-
definitely it does all of those things.
Yeah.
You're so right.
Yeah, the great vocal lines, the sick drum fills, the great bass playing.
It captures your
Oh, yeah.
attention. It doesn't have to be a fast song. Honestly, Metallica wasn't meant to attempt modern metal, is my final thought.
Well,
I
it
think.
happens like
They
you
weren't
get
meant-
older, you get less hungry.
They're
you're rich.
cle-
Well, you're not that angry
They're
anymore.
not hungry or angry at all. They have not suffered enough recently to to produce good music.
James Hetfield's childhood is pretty tragic, so you
Okay,
can tell why
well,
he
I'm
was so
glad.
angry about this stuff.
I'm
right?
glad that he is not mad anymore. I guess, but
Well, he
like,
probably still is
just-
mad, just at different things.
like
you know.
not enough to make good metal music.
Well, you gave the one song 9 out of 10.
Yeah,
lets you
and that's
turn
the
it-
only one. And I'm gonna say that probably every other song on that album, I'm gonna not give anywhere close to a 9.
Yeah.
Screaming Slewer Slide was the worst song ever, and it got nominated for a Grammy. How? Just because Metallica's a big name. There are a lot of other small name metal bands that deserve that spot over that flaming dumpster fire of a song. Cool that they're talking about subjects and trying to put subjects out there that are, you know, a little more taboo, but at least make it a good song.
Sure.
It doesn't have to be about a taboo subject to make people actually want to listen to it. Just make it a good song so people want to listen to it. And if it just happens to be about a taboo subject, even better.
True. That's a really good point. We'll wrap that up here. It's been a long episode. I appreciate you guys tuning in and joining in for the journey. I'm sure you can tell, I can even tell just by your reactions from like this episode and the
I
way
like
she kind of
old.
reacted to the newer stuff, I guess you would say, even though a lot of that's like 20 years old already.
Stop!
But yeah, I'm really proud of you on your journey. Like, picking up, you're like, where's the riffs? Like the snare drum sucks. Like
the snare drum was literal garbage.
your criticisms have gone from it's too mad,
He's too angry. He's too loud.
it's too long, to
'Kay.
there's not enough good riffs. His vocals aren't powerful enough. I'm really proud of you, and I'm really thankful for you guys to tune in. This is making me very, very curious to hear your thoughts on Megadeth's later stuff, because
I am
it's
curious
a lot
too.
different from Metallica's.
I kind of wonder, because we did our Metallica and Megadeth episodes way early on
Yeah.
in my metal journey, because I don't think I liked Megadeth as much as Metallica. I wonder if I would have a different opinion
Yeah, I
listening
wonder.
to it
That'd be
again
interesting. That'd be
now.
interesting. But yeah, we'll do that in another episode. And Megadeth has a lot shorter songs. Any last words?
Master of Puppets will forever be the perfect Metallica song. Metallica just needs to quit while they're ahead, even though they're no longer ahead. I'm so
Fucking
sorry.
savage.
I'm
Oh my
so
God.
sorry. They're like nothing that they've produced other than the Unforgiven 2 and 3, and that's
Yeah.
San Francisco Orchestra. Nothing else that they've done. Nothing else. No. They're
Well,
done. They're toasted.
Thanks for watching, you guys. Just a reminder, you can watch the full unedited thing over on Patreon. And yeah,
You can listen to those long songs with me.
it's true. Thanks for watching, you guys. Appreciate you. Cheers.
Bye.